going to be on the iPad. But again, yesterday, did anybody have any what? 24. Let's take a look at 24. 24 is a what? Guess what? You said we don't have to do the word problems. That's next week. Yeah, that's what I said. Good, you guys are listening. No word problems. The word problems, trust me, you're going to have your fill of word problems next week. Okay, does anybody have any other questions now on this section? Everybody's good with writing the equations? All right, now, a little bit harder today because we have one more form. All right, we have one more form. All right, let's take a look now at today's lesson, which is 4-3. And what I'm doing for you for 4-3 is right here. Now, in the directions, it's specifically saying, all right, it's specifically saying what equation you're supposed to use. All right, so I want everybody to take a look first at number 1.
Isn't this the same thing as yesterday?
What are you saying? Isn't the same as yesterday?
Isn't this the same thing as yesterday?
What did I say today was? You don't know. Yeah. No, you don't know because you're not listening. All right, that's really part of the problem. You don't know because you don't listen, ever. All right? I know it sounds kind of harsh, but it's true. And as soon as you decide to listen, you're going to change. All right? That's why you're in the front. All right? Now, let's read the directions. All right? The directions say write the equation in point-slope form, which is what we did yesterday. All right? But we're also going to graph the equation. All right? So what I need you to do now is I put lots of graph paper at the bottom. So here we go. I'm just going to fill in question number 1 right here. And if you want to kind of highlight it, that'd be good. And now let's talk about it. All right, so because it's in point-slope form, somebody tell me what the equation is. Very simple. Ben, thank you. Y minus, beautiful, m times x minus x1. That's what I want you writing down for number 1. Okay, so from there, can you write the equation for me?
Yeah.
What is it? Perfect. Now that's the answer. That's all there is to it. That's it. If you know how to do that, you paid attention yesterday. All right. Now I want to show you how to graph this particular line. All right. Now what I want you to remember is that this point right here, the -2, 5, is what I want you to graph. So I need everybody to graph the point -2, 5. So here we go. I'm going to graph -2, 5. Anybody have any problems with that? Seeing that dot? Went to the left 2 and up 5. What am I waiting on?
Oh, you just used what is in parentheses?
Yeah, very good. Very good, because that's the point that's given, correct? Now, from that point, not from the y-intercept, because we don't know what the y-intercept, but from that point, I'm going to use the slope. What is the slope? So I have to do what? What do I have to do? -6/1. So I want everybody to remember that the slope is -6/1, which means I go what? down 6, and to the right 1. Thank you very much. So from this point, I'm just going to draw it out. I go down 6. I do not plot a point. And then I go over to the right 1. And that's where I plot my next point. Right here. And now that I have those 2 points, I do what? I graph the line. Anybody have any questions? Now, of course, this right here, I would like for you right now, that's delta y, and that's what? Delta x. All right? And delta just means change. Yeah, that's it. That's it. I told you, it's very simple. All right, but it's overwhelming because there's 3 different forms you have to know. All right, that's why it requires good practice. All right, so that was question number 1. Now I'm going to go ahead and do question number 2. All right, we're going to work number 2. All right, so let's go back down. And remember, I'm trying to get people to participate. All right? So, of course, Allison, I always appreciate you volunteering. Help me out with number 2. Good job, girl. Wow, look at that. Perfect. Perfect. All right, now you have to graph this for me. So what am I going to do on the graph? And, wow, very nice work, kiddo. Down. So I plotted that point. Very good. Now what? What's the slope? So I go. Remember, slope. Look up, please. Slope. Delta y over delta x. So what do I have to do from that point? Over would be x. And? Yes. So from here, I go up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Over 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then plot that point, and now draw the line. Beautiful.
Really, what is y plus 8? Wouldn't it be negative?
No, you don't understand the formula. And you couldn't have done the work last night if you asked me that question. What's the formula? Shh, nope. I know you know. You're doing all your work all the time. Okay. So far so good. Equals times. Okay, so now you're asking me why is it plus 8? You tell me why is it plus 8?
Oh, because you need 2 negatives.
Exactly. Come on, you know that. Right? And you know what I expect you to do? If you don't know that, I expect you to write it down and I expect you to do it, and then you go, oh wow, that's how we got that. Right? That's what I'm expecting out of you. That's why I'm giving you a hard time. All right? You got to figure things out. All right? Now I'm going to do number 3. Alex is up. Whoa, wait a minute. Not quite ready for you. All right, number 3, here we go. Yep. Brilliant. Now what? Yes, sir. Wow, Alex. Now what? Wow. Down 1 to the right 2. I prefer that you say right rather than across because that means the direction. Okay? Look at you, man. How's it feel? Feels great, hopefully. No excuses. None. No excuses. Everybody can do that. All right? Very happy. All right, good job, Alex. All right, now let's talk about question number 4. Uh-oh. Put a little highlight here, please. Write the equation in standard form. I have not done that for you yet. I've not taught you standard form. That's today's new lesson for the most part. Standard form. Everybody's got to write standard form down. All right? Here is standard form. Standard form is AX plus BY equals C. I don't know of a single advantage to writing it in standard form. That's why most standardized tests, they don't give it to you in standard form. Everybody hear me? Like it doesn't give you the slope. It doesn't give you the y-intercept. It doesn't give you the x-intercept. It doesn't give you anything. All right? But for some reason, they call this standard form. Now, listen. A, B, and C are constants. All right? Now, there are some rules here. A has to be greater than 0. A has to be greater than 0. A, B, and C have to be integers. And basically that just means there's no decimals or no fractions involved. All right? Everybody with me? And then the next thing is A, B, and C must be relatively prime. And you'll know what that means. All right, you may have forgotten, but you know what that means. So, for example, if I said this, if I said 2x plus 4y equals 8, is that in proper standard form? No, because I can divide everything through by what? 2. Everybody with me on that? That's what it means to be what? Relatively prime. All right? So now, this is the case where x and y have to be on the same side, and the number has to be on the other side. Everybody hearing me? X and y have to be on one side, and the constant has to be on the other side. All right? Now, for question number 4, are they asking me to graph it? No, they're not asking me to graph it. So again, all we're doing is we are going to write these 3 equations in standard form. So I'm going to copy them real quick. I'm going to put it right down here. That's why I gave you this room. And we're going to do that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do number 5 first because the fractions are harder. All right, I just want to give you a good idea of what we're doing. Everybody look up. Y plus 7 equals negative 5x minus 15. What did I do there? All I did was distribute it. Exactly. All right? Now, I want the x and y on the same side. So I need to move what? I need to move the negative 5x to the other side. If I move the negative 5x to the other side, it becomes? If I move it to the other side, it becomes positive. Don't ask, tell me. It becomes positive 5x. So right now I have 5x plus y plus 7 equals negative 15. Everybody see that? Everybody good? Now, there's only one other problem, and that problem is the positive 7. That has to go where? On to the 15. That's exactly right. So if I move the 7 from the left to the right, the 7 becomes a negative. So what's negative 7 and negative 15?
Negative 22.
Thank you very much. Negative 22. And that is written in standard form now. All right, that's written in standard form. You got to stay with me now, please. Stay with me. Stay with me. Everybody good with that? Everybody's good? All right. Now, let's take a look here at number 4. Why did I say 4 is a little bit harder? Because it has a fraction. In standard form, you're allowed to have fractions. Somebody agree with me? No. So if you're weak at fractions, you're in trouble. If you're good at fractions, this is easy. All right, so look up. How do I get rid of divided by 8? Multiply by 8. So now please watch what I'm doing. This is kind of what I'd like for you to write down. I'm multiplying everything through by what? 8. Right? So I'm multiplying the left side by 8 and the right side by 8. Now if I multiply the left side by 8, what do I get? Everybody agree with 8y plus 16? Everybody happy with that? Now, if I multiply the right side by 8, what happens to the times 8 and the divided by 8? They cancel out. So is there a fraction anymore? No fractions. So now it's just equals 7 parentheses x minus 3. And now I have to do what? Good job, girl. Distribute the 7. So I end up with 7x minus what? And 8y plus 16. All right, now I really need your attention here. The x must be positive, correct? The x must be positive. So should I move the x to the other side? No, because then it'll be what? Negative. So what do I really want to do? I'm going to move the y. Brilliant. I'm going to move the y from this side to this side. And then I'm going to move the what? I'm going to move what type of 21? I'm going to move the negative 21 to this side. Right? So now I'm just going to rewrite it again so you can see the whole work. It's 8y plus 16 equals 7x minus 21. I'm going to subtract 8y, and I'm going to add 21. Do you see that? Now, what happens to the negative 21 and the plus 21? They cancel. What happens to the 8y and the negative 8y? They cancel. What's 16 plus 21? 37 equals 7x minus 8y. Still not written in standard form because the x and y go first. So we just simply write 7x minus 8y equals 37. Come on, stop daydreaming. Yes.
Why does the x have to be positive?
Because someone smarter than me just made a rule. You hear me?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I understand what you're saying. It's just, there's just rules. Right? That's the rule. The rule is x has to be positive. Never say anything about y. Y can be positive or negative. All right? So again, that's just the rule they made up. All right? I personally don't see a big deal, but they just want the x to be positive. All right? And that's the rule. All right? So we got to live by that. All right? Now let's take a look at number 6, please. So what do I need to do to solve this problem? Tell me, Jack. Everybody's going to multiply through by 3. Now what's the left side, Jack?
Left side is 3y plus 6.
And then what happens to the 3's? They get canceled. Now, listen, hold up. Now, does everybody understand they cancel, right? So now instead of making it 2 steps, we're smart enough to say, well, I could just do what to that 5 now? Distribute the 5. Save yourself some time. Understand numbers better. When I distribute that 5, it becomes, go ahead, 5x plus 30. Now's the time you got to speak up if you're not sure about something. All right, so we're in good shape. All right, now I want the x and y on the same side. So what do I need to move, Jack? Yes, I'm moving the 3y over. And when I move the 3y over, it becomes what? Negative, right? So I have 5x minus 3y. Did I move the x? No, I moved the y. Now I have to move the what? I got to move the 30. When I move the 30, it's what? Yes. So if I subtract 30, I get what? I get negative 24. So in standard form, that would be what? I'm happy. I'm very happy. All right? And again, I'm expecting you guys to be able to follow the rules. And those are the rules to play if you want to write something in standard form. All right? It's really not that hard, but there are how many forms that we're learning? 3. So when I ask you a test on Friday, you're going to go, oh my gosh. If you don't write it out, if you don't do the work, if you don't make sure what you're doing is correct, there'll be problems on Friday. You don't need a problem. All right? What? You'll find out tomorrow. We have a review. All right, here we go. Now, 7. Here we go. 7, 8, 9. Here we go. Ooh, write each equation in what form? Slope-intercept. What is slope-intercept form? Somebody refresh my memory. No, that's point slope. Oh, come on. What was? No. Come on, somebody tell me. No, that's point slope. No. Come on, what is that equation? Tell me. What's in front? There you go. Good job. Good job. Y equals mx plus b. That's what I'm saying. If I say write the answer in slope-intercept form and you're doing y minus y, we're in trouble. Right? Again, that's called slope-intercept because it gives you the slope and it gives you the y-intercept. Now, all you're doing is you're just solving for y. This should be fairly easy. So the first thing I want to do is to do what here? What am I doing? Distribute. Thank you. Y minus 10 equals 4x plus 24. Now what do I need to do? Bring the 10 over, which means I'm going to do what? Add 10. So my final answer, y equals 4x what? Plus 34. Now again, some of you guys are back to quiet. If you don't know something, I'm not walking around the room. Colin, I'm making sense. You in the game now? Mm-hmm. Jess? Mm-hmm. Allison? Good? I know you've been good. You got it? All right. Here we go. Try number 8. Same thing. What do I need to distribute this time? Now notice I'm not multiplying by 4 because I'm not putting it in standard form. I'm solving it for y. So I distribute the 3/4. Now, some of you guys were really practicing our fractions. Negative 3/4 x, and then what? What's 5 times 3/4? How much? Yes. Thank you. Negative 15 over 4. Now, if you're not sure why it's negative 15 over 4, now we need to review. Does anybody have any issues?
So, when adding a fraction with just a normal number, it's pretty much you're going to multiply it to the top and bottom. when
by
you
just denominator. Yes. In other words, let me see if I make you clear. Are you okay with negative 15/4?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're okay with negative 15/4, now I'm just going to add 7 to both sides. Is that good? Is that what you're asking me? I'm adding 7 to both sides now? I'm adding 7, and I'm adding 7. Does everybody agree with that? And what happens to the minus 7 and the plus 7? They cancel. So now I have y equals negative 3/4 x. Now, 7 is how many fourths? Thank you. Does anybody else have any issue with that? All right, because you make it 1, right? So this becomes 28/4. So negative 15/4 plus 28/4 is what? 13/4. Again, I really, really, really want you to do good mental math on the fractions. That's important to me. All right, so you've got to be able to see it. If not, raise your hand. Colin, you good now?
Yeah, I see it.
Good. What?
When you were doing 28 minus 15, wouldn't you have to?
That's 13, right? 28 minus 15. Why? Look right here, please. The question is 28/4 minus 15/4. I don't know why you wrote that. I mean, I don't want you just writing that and saying that's the answer because he said. Do you understand why? Because if I take 7 pizzas and cut them into fourths, how many slices do I have? Right? 28. That's right. And if you did 28 divided by 4, that's the same as what number? There you go. Good now, right? Okay, so that's my answer. All right, now let's do, that was number 8, right? All right, so let's do number 9 now. Wow, number 9 is really easy. They should put that one first. That's just, somebody tell me what the answer is.
Y equals x plus 13.
Right, very good, thank you. Y equals x plus 13. Anybody have any issues? Right? Anybody have any issues? So we have 3 forms. Y equals mx plus b, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, and ax plus by equals c. Everybody agree with that? All right, and you just have to put it in whatever form they tell you. All right, so let's go back to practice. I just want to work these now. All right, I don't care about the word problems. Yeah, let's don't worry about the word problem right now. We'll spend lots of time on word problems next week. All right, here we go. Number 11. Write the equation in point-slope form and then graph. All right, then graph. All right, so somebody tell me about number 11. What's the equation for number 11? Someone tell me. Perfect. That's what form they want you to write in. Okay? So Jess, can you tell me what the equation would be for number 11? Listen, I don't want you graphing right now, please. Don't graph. I just want you to tell me the answer. Go.
5 minus 3 equals 7 times x minus 5.
Beautiful. Very good. I want you on 13.
Okay. It's y plus 3 equals negative 1 x minus 6.
Beautiful. Max, let's see if you're in the game.
Okay.
Number 15.
Is it 11 or y plus 11? Oh, is it y minus 11 equals negative 2 or equals 4/3 times x minus 2.
They're just not doing it. Colin, number 17. Tell me the answer.
Y plus 9 equals negative 7/5 times x plus 2.
Perfect. That's what I want out of everybody. So we agree, come on, that's not that hard, right? You know the form, it's not that hard. All right? Now I have to write it in what? I have to write it in standard form. So here we go. I'm just going to pull these to right here. All right, here we go. Standard form. Go ahead, Julie. What do I do for number 19? What's the first thing you should do? Now keep in, yes, distribute. Remember, keep in mind we want ax plus by equals c. Beautiful. Now what? Good. So the y is going to become? Yes. So now listen to me. Try to concentrate on your numbers, okay? So when you move it, it's going to be 2x minus y. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
And then what do I need to move? So that's going to equal what? Good job, girl. Yes, it would. Very, very good. Go ahead. Good, good, good. Very good. Give it a shot. Okay, tell me about number 21. What do I do first? And look at 20. What does she, or 19? What does she do first on 19? Well, the first thing she did was we distributed. Right? So distribute for me. What do I get? Negative 50. We're multiplying, Kate. You with me? Come on now. All right. Now, what should I move? No. Let me explain why. Does everybody understand I'm going to move this time the negative 6x? Why am I going to move the negative 6x over? Because it'll become? You understand that? I want the x to always be positive. So if it's negative, I have to move it. If it's positive, it stays. You hearing me? Right? So if I move it over, it becomes what? If I move this over here, what does it become? Not when you move it. Correct. It's negative on one side. If I move it, it becomes? Right. So now it's going to be 6x. And then what? You see that? Now I have to move the negative 9 to the other side. All right, so if I move that to the other side, it's going to be equals negative 45. Now, you got to walk yourself through that. Don't just write things. You're not allowed to write things down. If you're not following me, you got to let me know. That was a tricky one. Are you okay with that? Tell me. Okay, because very good question. Watch me now. I had to add 9 to both sides. Right? Because I move, watch, I move the negative 6x over here, And then when I move it over there, it becomes a what? Now I move the what? The -9 over here. When I move the -9 over here, it became what? You see what I'm doing there? Okay. Girls up front. All right, so I'm going to slide 23 over. I'm sorry, I'm going to slide 25 over. All right, here we go. Now, Vivian. Multiply both sides by 10 because we're not allowed to have a fraction. Very good job. Yes. Yes. Beautiful. Beautiful. Everybody look up now. Tell me they're good. Any issues? You're good. Good, Will. What? I will ask.
So you just multiplied this kind of isolated?
No, to get rid of a fraction.
Oh.
So you're not allowed to have fractions. So now I just eliminated the fractions. Okay? Now what, Vivian? Yeah. So it's going to be what? And then I have to subtract the 27. What does that become? You're an awesome girl. Thank you for listening. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right, we got one more. All right, I really hope you're listening. All right. So let me try something else. You want to try? Because you've been listening now. All right, come on. What do?
Would you multiply by -3?
You could multiply by 3, but it's just the same to multiply by 3. You with me?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, you said 6y
Good.
plus 9.
Then you're going to distribute a what?
A 1.
-1.
-1
So that equals,
equals -x.
and then, come on.
Plus 2.
Yay, buddy. There you go. Wow. See what happens? Pay attention a little bit. Just a little bit. All right. Good job. Now what?
Move the x to like the side of 6y.
That's right. So it's going to be,
6y plus x.
but you would want to put the x first.
Oh, x plus 6y
Equals,
equals 2 minus 9.
yeah, what's 2 minus 9?
Plus, -7.
Awesome, man. That is exactly correct answer. Good job, guys. Now listen to me. Hey. I didn't really get a chance to tell you this. Listen, I only want you to graph number 12. Hear me, guys. Only have to graph 12. Because I think you can do that. Does everybody agree? And then finish up all the way. Let's do 12 through 34. 12 through 34 evens. 12 through 34 evens, because I did most of the what? Just do 12 through 34 evens. Now, I'm telling you, if you're having trouble, I need you to come in and see me in the morning now. All right? Watch the video. Listen, listen, listen.
Jack, I found my pencil from yesterday.